Today, I've got a very special guest joining me. He's a man that's going to be taking back into the ring very, very soon on June 7th on the Keyshawn Davis Edwin De Los Santos card in Norfolk, Virginia. He is currently ranked number 6 in the WBO, number 11 WBC middleweight. He's 14-0, 5 KOs, and that's Troy Isley. Troy, I appreciate you taking time to come on today, man.
No problem, man. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, man. Well, I just said an introduction. You're about 4 or 5 weeks out from a fight. You're going to be fighting back home. What's going through your thoughts
Yeah,
right now?
man. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I get a chance to redeem myself, and then at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I kind of been a little inactive this year, so
Yeah.
kind of eager to get back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Show them. I'm the future of the middleweight division.
Hmm. So I was just going to ask about that. You had your last fight against Tyler Howard last year, and then
Yeah,
obviously I believe this fight you're supposed to go up against was supposed to happen on the Meyer and Ryan card, and then something
yeah,
happened there. Is that correct?
yeah. Something happened. I guess like visa or something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay, gotcha. So the layoff then exactly wasn't exactly what you had planned. Then it was more so just kind of happened because of other outstanding circumstances.
Yeah. No, it wasn't anything planned. It just I
Gotcha.
guess something happened with his visa. He from Brazil or something like
Mhm.
that. So something happened with it.
Well, let's get into this opponent. Etoundi Michael William. He's obviously got a decent record overall. Walk us through your him. I'm sure you've watched through film. You broke him down. Now you had
Yeah.
quite a few months to prepare for him. Your overall thoughts as you're a few weeks out from this. What's your thoughts on him?
I mean, he's a good fighter. I feel like he gives up his height. Um, I feel like he gives up his height, and I feel like he kind of like lazy on his jab.
Hmm.
And I mean, I feel like I'm gonna break him down and put a lot of mental pressure on him, and not reckless pressure, but mental pressure. And work his body and angles and just be Troy.
Yep. Now, when you talk about yourself, if you were to make a prediction up for this upcoming fight, what would that be? What do you expect for this fight to happen?
I expect a knockout.
Okay. Is there a certain
I
round you
mean,
have it set for?
later 6 or 7.
Okay. Now, when you talk about what you have been able to grow, we had the Howard fight, your last fight you fought. Over the past, what now? It's been 5, 6, 7, 8 months now. What are
Yeah.
some things that you feel like you've improved on or you've grown in as a fighter since then?
I've been better at slowing things down. I like to fight, so I like to go in there and anxious and be aggressive stuff like that. So now I've been working on thinking, setting traps, slowing things down, working my jab more, stuff like that. Just
Okay.
being more working on my IQ and being a better boxer. I feel like I got everything, but you know what I'm saying, being a better boxer, and then I feel like I be I feel like everybody gonna stay away from me on the inside. So I feel like I gotta get better on the outside.
And you talk also about another aspect about this upcoming fight. You're going to be fighting pretty much close to home now. That's got to be a special feeling when you know that you're going to have a lot of family, a lot of friends, easy to travel to. How much more exciting does that make it when you get a fight in your hometown?
Man, it's 10 times more exciting, and I mean it make you work 100 times more harder because your friends, your family, everybody gonna be there. Even though they watching every other fight, stuff like
Yeah.
that, but the ones that gonna be at, what I'm saying, you just looking forward to hearing their voice, stuff like that. It's
Hmm.
very exciting.
The other cool thing about this card is that there's a lot of guys that are from that area. Obviously, the headline, Keyshawn Davis. You talk about him. You talk about yourself. You talk about another guy in Shark, Mr. Shark. He's gonna be coming on out there. Obviously,
Yeah,
Dietrich
my man
Davis.
Scooter.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
And so
that's
you
my
got a
man.
lot of guys out there that are from that area. When you just talk about the way this card's come together, and you know it's gonna be a lot of guys that you've grown up with, guys that you're cool with. What is that like?
Man, this good. This what we talked about growing up. We
Yeah.
all, me, Keyshawn, Juice, Kelvin, we all would be on team. Before Team USA, at first it was let's get on Team USA, let's make the
Hmm.
Olympics. Then we got to Team USA, got to the Olympics. Now it's the pros. So we just doing everything one step at a time. Everything we talked about. So I mean, but when you when you there living in the moment, for me, it's kind of like a wow, what I'm saying, I'm really doing it, sort of thing. Like, I'm
Yeah.
really staying packed. I'm really, what I'm saying, doing everything I said I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think about when I first walked in the gym and talked to Kay. Yeah, I would never think I'd be here today. And
Did
I still
you
got more to
ever,
prove though. But yeah,
if I were to ask you, like you said, I mean, let's go back even 5, 6 years ago, and I would have said some of the things that you've already accomplished and gone, being able to experience in your career to this point, would this have
hmm
shocked you, or what would your mindset have been if I told you it's all going to happen?
how many years ago?
5, 6, 7 years ago, say like when you're 18, 19 years old.
When I was 18, 19.
Yeah.
I probably would have. I would have been like, I would have believed in you, but I would have. It would have just been like second guessing because I just
Sure.
made Team USA. I had just made. Excuse me. I'm just talking, but
All good.
I had just made Team USA at 2018, 2017 when I turned 18. So but before I made Team USA though, it was my last year of high school. I was kind of like rambling. Am I gonna turn pro or am I just gonna like regularly like am I just gonna go to college or do something? You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm,
kind of hatched my eggs all in one basket. I won the nationals in 2017, and then I was like, okay, now I can really make the Olympics, and
mhm.
that kind of gave me a goal. And then I did good 2017. I wound up winning a medal at World Championships, and then Top Rank started recruiting me, and then things just went up from there. Everybody wanted to fly me out the fights.
Has boxing always been your dream? Did this more so develop as you're in your teenage years, or when did you really start falling in love with boxing?
I've been fell in love with boxing. Boxing was just like a natural for me. Okay,
Okay.
so I grew up in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm from DC. So when I moved to Alexandria, Virginia, I was getting a lot of fights outside of school,
Mm,
and my gym is at a recreation center called Charles Houston, and
okay.
I would fight at the rec every day after school. I would be in the fights, and then they wound up rebuilding it, and then my dad was like, "You want to try out boxing? You always fighting so much." And I tried it out, but at first I was playing football, but I ain't like playing football in the cold. And then I was kind of like I was a sore loser. So if we had like a weak league on the team, I was the type of person that like get him out of here, like he sucks or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like an a-hole. So I was better at boxing. I could control the destiny, and I won more at boxing. So
Hmm.
I felt like yeah, stick with it. But at the same time, though, my biggest fear growing up was being stuck.
Mm,
So there was at a time I felt like boxing was my only way out.
okay. When would you say it did start to click and you said, you know what, this is something I can make for my life? Like, this is actually something I'm not just going to do for fun. I'm not just good at it, but like, this
Yeah.
could be something I can make a living for, could accomplish some things. When did that start to set in for yourself?
When I made Team USA and I
Okay.
started like getting paid and stuff like that. Start traveling overseas. Wasn't even at home. I was rarely at home from 2017 to 2020. I
Wow.
was always out the country, always in Colorado, traveling to this country, traveling there. Like that was probably like those are probably the best like 3 years of my life. And
Really?
those are all the people that I made, all the friends I made those years are my best friends. I still talk to them.
Mm. And that's
So
actually something I
my
really wanted to
teammates.
get into because USA has been boxing has been something that honestly is how I started falling in love with boxing. I love watching that. And actually was the year you guys, Keyshawn, all you guys was the first year I really started getting
Yeah,
into boxing. And when you talk about just that experience, like representing your country, getting to go fight
yeah,
against other countries, and obviously it's not, professional boxing and whatnot, but it's really the beginning stages of that for you
yeah.
guys.
It is. It is. It feels like I took that as college. Like we
Okay.
were the number one
I like that.
recruits, and yeah, that's what I took that as.
Hmm.
It was fun. I loved it, bro, for
You said that
sure.
was like some of your 3 or 4 of your favorite years of your life. Why was that so special? What makes that different than what you're at today and what you're doing today?
Okay. Because I mean, remember I told you I had the biggest fear of like being stuck in Alexandria, being one of them
Good point.
kids that being one of them people that's in one city for 40 years, 50 years. Same
Hmm.
guy in the neighborhood, 50 years. That was
Yeah.
my biggest fear. So now, I'm traveling the world, I'm seeing everything, and I'm doing what I love. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's just it's I don't know, it's kind of different. So yeah, yeah,
You also said about the relationship component where you started making some of your closest friends you ever had at that point
yeah,
in time. And I can imagine it's because you guys are always training together, you guys are always working together. But just when you talk about that ability to just build these bonds with guys, these true brotherhoods with these guys for so many
yeah,
years, how special is that? Because you don't really get that. And if you don't do that route, you're not going to get that. Obviously, boxing is an
yeah.
individual
Facts,
sport with your team.
facts.
So, and that's kind of in a sense, I don't want to say it's not really basketball, football, whatever. You still
Yeah.
have that. It's the only way you can really create that team, that bond in a sense. What was
Mhm.
that like getting to experience life with those guys for so many years?
Man, it was great. I mean, them my brothers. So I
Mm,
mean, it was great. You know what I'm saying? You travel in the world with your brothers, like the people that you grew up with from the JOs, you know what I'm saying? Me and Tiger, we not from the same state, you know what I'm saying? But we knew each other. We
sure.
always knew each other. Me and Duke, same thing. We would always like say what's up and stuff like that. And then, it just I don't know how to explain it, bro, but It's a great experience.
Can you walk us through the actual Olympic experience itself? You end up losing the round of
Mm,
16, but you get to say for the rest of your life that you were an Olympian. You got to make the
yeah.
grand opening ceremony. You got to do all these different things that people dream of in all these different sports. That's part of your
Mm,
legacy forever. No one can take that away from you.
for
What does
sure.
that mean to you?
So the Olympics mean for me is where I'm from in Alexandria. I feel like you can't talk about sports or any athlete without bringing my name up because nobody from Alexandria has
Mm,
done it. So
yep.
that's what going to the Olympics meant for me. That's why I wanted to go. But Noah Lyles is from Alexandria too. So me
Yeah.
and him has went. You know what I'm saying? But still, you still got to bring our name up because nobody never done it.
Hmm.
So that's what being Olympics mean for me. And then also like the opening ceremony experience, like talking to Damian Lillard,
Yeah.
like Dame showing me and Keyshawn videos, boxing, having conversations with us and stuff
Hmm.
like asking us who gonna win this fight, stuff like that. Draymond, I had a chain on, so Draymond like, oh you would rap a lot, such and such. Draymond, talking stuff, but Draymond cool. Draymond was cool too. Zach Levine was cool. I sat next to him actually on the way there. I sat next to Zach Levine.
Okay.
And it was just a great experience. The whole time I'm just like, wow, like Brittany Griner. I'm next to all these people like at 2012. Well, I'm 2012 when I made the goal to go to the Olympics in 2012. Like I was around, you know, some of these people that I was watching on TV that I never thought I'd be able to see.
You talk about Dame, and he's obviously a massive boxing fan. I almost feel like likes boxing more than basketball in terms of just
Yeah,
watching it. And you get to have a conversation, like you said, you're seeing some of these other great athletes. And the cool thing about that is all these athletes have accomplished and are at the peak of where they're at right now. Getting this experience and kind of pick the mind of them. What's some things you learn from some of these guys just being around them?
I used to second guess myself a lot.
Mm,
Confidence. You got to be
yeah.
confident. Greatness is a mindset.
Mm. And you also talk about these other aspects too when you're out there. And one of those things I actually want to get into about USA Boxing, we do know that there's a significant gold medal drought we've had for quite a few years now. I think it was
Yeah,
1998 the last one we had or whatever it is.
2004.
Yep,
Dre
yep, that one,
Ward.
yeah, yep. And so when you look at that aspect, do you feel like we're gonna have a chance of ever getting a gold medal again? What's the odds of that happening? You think for the United States to bring home gold in boxing?
We're gonna get a shot at getting the gold medal. I mean, I feel like we could. I feel like we could. I feel like we just need the right. We need, man. Them Cubans. I don't know. We need the right coaching.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's the
Yeah,
biggest issue then?
yeah. I feel like it's time for a change.
Okay.
Yeah,
Be-
especially after this year.
yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
wasn't the best.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But Billy, Billy Walsh and Jose, Polanco, them my guys, man. I love them to death. Them,
Hmm.
I had no issues with them as coaches. They love me. They respected me. They did the most for me.
Yeah. And we have the big Olympics coming up where it's going to be in LA in 2028. Obviously, it's like that's the year where if guys are going to want to commit to going there, it would make the most sense for USA guys. Do you feel like there's a chance we get a gold medal in LA, or do you think this is something that we still got to rebuild the program a little bit longer?
I think at least one gold medal, LA. We should get one.
Yeah,
We
we should.
better get one. We better get one. If we don't get one, then that's crazy. Yeah, I'm disappointed in USA boxing that we don't win a gold medal at the
Agree.
2028.
I think one of the biggest things too that we see a lot of the young guys that decide not to go. And I get the whole COVID year thing. That one obviously screwed up a lot of things for
Hmm.
a lot of guys. But when you look going forward now, I feel like there's been the stigma where because of that opened up the door and the gateway for saying, okay, we don't have to go to the Olympics to be great. Some young guys aren't considering it. And you talked about your story
Hmm.
and how special it was for you. But if you were to make a pitch to, some of the top guys that are, 16 to that 19 age range, whatever it is, what's your pitch? Why should they go to the Olympics and try going for gold?
Cause I mean, the Olympics is better. I mean, you fight every style. So when you go to the pros, you're not. There is no style that you haven't faced.
Yep.
There's so many styles on that Olympic circuit. You know what I'm saying? Me doing them 3 years was probably the best thing. I got used to every style. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So I mean that, and then I mean, they gonna get you. It gets you more money signing. You have more leeway when you sign. You know what I'm saying?
good
You're a
point.
number one amateur. You know what I'm saying? You're not just a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? They're not just gonna give you a 25K bonus. You might get 100K. You know what I'm saying? That
True.
might be the difference of going to the Olympics and not going to the Olympics.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean the experience, and I mean the experience. You get more money. Um, More people will know you.
Yeah.
You'll be more bigger in the boxing world. For real, you'll probably once I say you'll get more money, then I mean it's better off experience. They'll start thinking about it,
Yeah,
especially on the
definitely.
money part. But definitely experience. Experience is the most important part. I feel like because I've seen a lot of like guys when I was pro because I had plans on turning pro at 18. And
Hmm.
so, you know, there was guys that was pros when I was in high school, that fought certain styles and they didn't know how to fight them. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? They didn't know what to do. So I didn't want to be that as a pro. So that's kind of why I stayed them 3 years. And I wanted to go to the Olympics too.
fair enough. Well, let's get into that top rank portion because obviously you end up signing top rank eventually, and that's become where you've been made your home now for the time being. Walk through that decision. What was it about top rank, and why did you want to go with them?
Just top rate make the stars, man. They made all the stars. They
Yeah.
made all the stars. And I mean, I kind of had the best rapport with them. Like they had flew me out to fights from when Bud had fought when Bud fought Benavidez, they was flying me out, and then they flew me out when Shakur. Um, a few of Shakur fights, they flew me out all of Shakur fights when I was free. So I mean, top rank. I felt like I had the biggest rapport with them, and I mean, top rank, they build fighters the best. I felt like asking when I was asking around, they always like top rank builds the best.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, I want to get into your relationship with some of those guys you just talked about because you're obviously out there in Omaha right now training with some of the guys, and you just talk about the bond you create with Keyshawn. You talk about Bud. I know you're sparring with him, I think, last week or whatever. I think
Yeah.
he's in New York now, but you talk about just being able to
Mhm.
be around these guys and Bo Max group. What has that been like?
Honestly, man, this has been great. Uh, I mean, I've been growing so much, like
Hmm.
you know, mentally, you know, physically, and I mean, just being around this whole, I don't know, just being around the team just make turn your energy up, make you want to work harder, make you feel great. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, when you slacking, they own you about it. You know, they tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you know, just and they experience like they know everything. They didn't seen it all in the game. So and then they relatable, family, like it's solid team.
What about Bo Mac makes him so special as a trainer?
He just know how to like word stuff, but
Mm.
he know how to like word it. But he know how to like word it in a way that it was like, it's that easy. Like, wow, I ain't. How come my other coach said that? Like, I couldn't understand it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's what make him like great. Like okay, I fought Javier Martinez. I fought Javier. Uh, I won the first 2 rounds. He had a good little third round. Okay, my other coaches before him would have got on me like yapping. You know what I'm saying? Would have got on me, been real intense about it, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He came
Yeah.
back to the corner like, yo, you don't need to bang with this dude. Like your punches are way too sharp, punches are crisp, stuff like that. You don't got to bang with him. You know what I'm saying? He
Hmm.
was relaxed. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So I like relax. I don't like all that rah rah stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I ain't doing no talking anyway, so
True.
it's all good. I don't need all that rah rah.
And like I said, just you were sparring with Bud Crawford too, just like I think it was last week. I know you're posting on your IG story and all that. That's got to be
Hmm.
huge for yourself. You're going up against a guy that is one of, if not the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now. What were
Yeah,
those rounds like?
shit is great. I mean, it's great, and then the being in there with the pound for pound number one, and just being at first one thing it lets you know that you can hang with the good with the greats, and
Yeah.
then it lets you know how great you is. It lets you know that if you stick with it, you know what I'm saying. Stay focused, stay locked in. You can do all the same things.
When you
And
just
I
talk
mean,
about Bud Crawford, we know there's a big fight upcoming between him and Canelo. And you obviously are being at 160, kind of, you're obviously one weight class below him. How do you see that fight panning out?
for sure. I mean, Bud, I got Bud. Bud can
All right.
do it. Like I said, greatness is a mentality, bro. So I feel like Bud can do it. I'm in there with Bud all the time. Shit, Bud can do it.
What would you say has been your favorite memory of Bud Crawford so far at this point?
Mm, damn. I got more than just being a pro with Bud. Bud, I knew Bud since like 2018, my second year on the team.
Okay.
Uh, my favorite moment was probably when they first recruited me for to like spar.
Okay. And how'd that go?
Because I had sparred him for the Jeff Horn camp, and
Okay.
then we went over to his house in Colorado to chill and stuff like that, and they was like, "Shit, so we might need use you the rest of the camp." And when they said that, I was like, "Oh shit, that must mean I'm doing some shit." So probably that.
And
That
you
oh, I
also
mean, Bud working my corner, my pro debut.
how big is that? Because that's got to be huge. When you're talking about him being in your corner, you get some of the best
Yeah,
advice you could possibly get in the world. What was that like?
that's good. I mean, he told me to slow down and stuff like that. I was real anxious my pro debut, so
Yeah.
he told me to slow down, get my jab better and stuff like that. But
You-
yeah, it was great. It was a good experience. It was a good experience. I was real nervous my pro debut, and then I felt off because I was off the whole year from shoulder surgery. I had just like got back like 2 months ago, so my
mhm.
rhythm was off. I didn't really feel like myself until my second fight.
Going through your career now, obviously you're 14-0, 5 KOs in your career. To this point in time, do you feel like you've accomplished exactly what you wanted to within your first 14 fights? Do you feel like you've underachieved? You're overachieving? How would you grade your first 14 fights of your career now?
I feel like I'm in the middle. I feel like I kind of. I ain't gonna say that. Okay, okay. I feel like I'm underrated, but I feel like some fights I have kind of like underperforming. Some fights I'll be
Okay.
a critic on myself. I kind of feel like I have like slacked off some fights, but I feel like ever since I fought Vladimir, I've been on up.
Hmm. And you look at yourself going forward now. Obviously, you're one of the top guys. You're top 10 ranked in the WBO, number 11 WBC. And we know that time's coming for yourself, whether it's this year, in the near future. If you were to give an outline for what you want to accomplish, say, in the next year, 12 months, what's in store
Hmm.
for you?
Well, I want I'm gonna get eat Tony out the way, Michael eat Tony out the way, and
Hmm.
then I want a big fight after that. Maybe a title eliminator, against a big name or something like that.
Sure.
And so my plan this year was really to fight fight this fight, and then fight like a title eliminator or fight like a good name or something like that, and
Sure.
then fight for the title
So do you think there's a chance you get that shot this year, or do you think that'd be more so become early 2026?
early 2026
Okay.
because it's slowed down.
Yeah.
They don't start till late
And just
this
kind of
year.
going through 160, there's obviously a lot of speculation between some fights. I know there's the highly anticipated and hopefully happens the unification between Janabek, Carlos Adames. Laura's obviously hanging around out there. When you just talk about the landscape right now, the champions, if you were to pick the best unification fight between those guys right now, what's the fight you'd want to see?
Laura, Dames and Jennebeck. Laura, I don't know what Laura doing, but I mean, Laura got his little sneaky power, but I
Mhm.
don't know what he's doing.
You did call out Janabek before on X. I think it was a little while ago, though. But is that the guy you'd want to target? Do you not really care who it is? Would you just take any of them? Or is there one guy that you'd see that you say, okay, I really want to fight that guy?
I want a Dames,
Okay.
Jennebeck or a Dames. I'm in there ranking, but for sure, Dames. I called it Dames out on Twitter recently.
Hmm. What about him stands out to you?
I mean, I feel like I know I can beat him.
Okay.
I know for a fact I can beat him. I've been in the ring with him multiple times at 6-0 and when I was 12-0. So I seen the difference, and I know I can beat a dumbass.
What were those sessions like when you were with him?
It was good. It was good work,
Hmm.
but I mean, I got off. I felt like I got the better of it each time.
Okay. So you feel like that's the fight. If you go in there, you become a world champion when you defeat Carlos Adames?
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
And let's say there was a hypothetical. I know it's been the rumored situation where have Janabek Adames unify. If Adames were to
Mhm.
lose that fight, is that the fight you could see yourself possibly making as that title eliminator to say maybe later 2025?
You mean if Adames loses to
Yeah,
Jennebeck, me and
if
Adames
Adames loses
fighting
to
for a
Janabek.
title eliminator?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends on how quick he decides to get back in the ring, but
True
yeah,
enough. Yeah.
yeah,
Are there any of the guys on your radar? Because I think when you look at the middleweight division, we had those top guys kind of solidify themselves, and then there's a lot of guys. Just obviously, you're in that group where it's like, okay, who's going to
yeah,
get the next title shot between out of after the champions? Are there guys that stand out to you? And just listed some guys I think would be interesting fights. Obviously, you have Aaron McKenna who just had a good fight last weekend. He should be moving
yeah.
up. Shane Mosley Jr. is obviously in the mix. Ammo Williams, I think he just like almost agreed to a title eliminator now or
Ammo
something along
Williams for
those.
sure. I
Okay,
want
Ammo.
Ammo for sure. That's a guy that I would love to fight.
Really?
Yeah, Ammo for sure.
Have you had any discussions with his team yet, or is that something you could possibly see in the
I ain't
works?
had no discussions with his team, but we got history, and
Yeah.
me and Ammo actually don't like each other. So I mean, it'll
All
be
right.
a great fight to build, and I feel like that'll be a great fight, and I know I'll beat him 100%.
Is that if you were to pick anybody, because you obviously said you have your upcoming fight, that's going to be done. Obviously, going to take care of business there. But like you said, you have that title eliminator hopes by the end of this year. If you could pick anybody for that situation, that obviously makes sense. Would he be the number one option for you?
Ammo for sure. We was trying
Okay.
to get Kyron Davis, but I mean, we was trying to
Yeah.
get him for this fight, but
Okay.
yeah, shit ain't go through.
I know there has been the rumors too, and I really don't know if I haven't seen anything come to fruition from it. But I know there were speculation that top ranked PBC were going to partner in a sense to combat, at least the way it was headlined with TKO in Turkey. Is that
Yeah,
something you see happen? Like, do you think from what you've seen and heard that that's actually going to start coming to fruition, where we see more top ranked PBC partnering?
I think so. I think so.
Okay,
I think there's no reason for the promoters to be like mad at each other. They're not in the ring fighting, so
fair.
that's all
Yeah.
good.
What's your overall thoughts? I feel like there's a lot of people split on. I feel like more boxers are more okay with the whole Turkey thing. Are you in favor of that? Do you
Yeah,
like what's going on there, or where do you stand with
I
everything in that
like what he
aspect?
got going on, man. He putting them
Yep.
niggas in order, making them niggas work with each other. At first, we was just not getting the big fights. The
Yep.
big fight. If you sign on the other side and that person signed on the other side, they weren't gonna fight each other. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So yeah, Turkey made it happen. Boxing was losing fans.
100% agree with that. And I know there's some people I feel like it seems that there's a fan base for each
One thing
partnership.
too, he taking care of fighters too. He not just fucking having them go in there and risk their lives. Like he really
Yeah.
taking care of fighters.
That's a huge point. I think, like you said, a lot of the things I feel like for some of the people that don't want to get on board with this thing, it's because of
Yeah,
they're so tied in with the promotional things that they're big matchroom fans, the big, PBC, the big top rank,
right.
whatever it is. Like
They're gonna
that's the
lose,
fan base.
right?
Yeah.
They're gonna lose that
If
fan base.
for fans overall, like what would you say to them? Because I feel like some people want to be so tied into promotionals as opposed to the boxing sport itself, which I'm more of a boxing fan.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll watch whatever. I don't know. I love all boxing as long as good fights. When you
you're
talk
right.
to boxing fans, what would you say to them that are so tied into a top rank of PBC, whatever it is, as opposed to just boxing as a whole?
So like, what do you mean?
So more so like when you talk, I think, like I said, there's so much people that want to go against Turkey and everything's happening right now due to the
Yeah,
fact of the ties to the promotional companies. If you were to say, what's your pitch to saying, like you said, it's better for boxers overall? Why should fans be more bought into boxing as a whole and what Turkey's doing as opposed to just
because
promotions?
Turkey he's bringing the big fights. At first, oh, there was like Terrence and Earl Spence.
Yep.
They did want to fight on the PBC card, but you know what I'm saying. Before that, we that like a fight like that would never happen. Bud versus Pacquiao never happened. You know what I'm saying. The cross
Yep.
promotion fights never happened, and you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it might have been the best 2, 3 fighters in the division. They can't fight each other because there are different promotions. So that's why fans should be like Turkey. And then I mean, he the fighters love him because I mean he taking care of the fighters, but at the same time the promoters are losing power, so that's kind of why they don't like it because
Yeah.
they don't have the same power they have.
hmm That's a
As
good
in, oh,
point.
we gotta fight, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying. Turkey give us that money now, we can. All right, you know what I'm saying.
You being obviously tied in with a lot of great boxers, do you feel like that's the same opinion? Like most boxers share the same opinion as you that they're all in favor of Turkey and what he's doing right now?
I feel like most boxers do. The ones
Okay.
that don't are the stars, the Tanks and the Canelos, the ones that's tight with the promoters.
Good point. Yeah. How big? Because I think obviously, like you said beforehand, was Tank and Canelo. That's two guys holding out for the most part. Canelo, obviously, with Riyadh season
Yeah,
now. How big was that? Do you think to see have Canelo make that big jump? Obviously, him, Bud Crawford, but Bud was more easy to go in with it quick out of the
I
gate.
feel like I feel like Canelo was gonna join at some point. I feel like Tank just being scary. He don't want to put his like record on the line.
That's true. And you obviously know Keyshawn, you know Shakur pretty well. When you talk about
Yes.
those guys in the lightweight division, I think that's the most interesting division because I feel like that division alone is so top heavy. There's obviously good guys up and coming. Abdullah Mason's a huge prospect and all that. But when you talk about those top guys, Loma, Keyshawn, Shakur, Tank, and obviously Abdullah's coming up as well. But talk about those guys. Who do you think is the top guy in that weight class?
Oh man, you put me in the tough one, man. First, man, I can't rank them, bro. If I do rank them, I got to put two people at number one.
Fair enough. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, I mean, Keyshawn and Shakur at number one, and then Tank and Loma.
All right.
But
Do you
I
think?
get you. I mean, Keyshawn one, Shakur two, Tank three, and then Loma four.
All right. I think the thing is that in a way your answer is probably right anyways because you talk about the fact I don't think Keyshawn and Shakur is ever going to fight each other. So I think those
Yeah,
two guys will obviously be there. But I think we all know there's a big fight that everybody wants to make. And right now, the biggest one would be, in my opinion, Shakur and Tank. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's the big fight to make at that division?
I think all the fights are big fights to make.
I agree. Okay.
I feel like all the fights are big fights to make. I would love to see Shakur and Tank fight. I would love to see Keyshawn and Tank fight. You know what I'm saying? This all depends on if Tank want to fight him because my bros want to fight Tank, but Tank don't
Mhm.
want to fight them.
Do you think we'll ever see that fight happening? Either one of those?
We'll see if we don't see both. One of them gotta happen.
Yeah, I
But for
agree.
sure, Tank legacy. Well, I mean, to the casuals, he's a legend. But you know what I'm saying? To the real boxers, he ain't got a like a career statement level win yet against like
Yeah.
a good opponent. He got some good wins though, but it ain't against
Yeah, I know
like
what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's get a couple of more things before I let you go. One of which is that obviously it's kind of going back into your upcoming fight. When you look at what you want to go out there and do, what's the statement you want to make, and what do you want people to take away from that night? When you hear everybody breaking down the fight, what they think
Yeah.
about Troy Isley after that night on June 7th, what do you want people to talk about? What do you want people to say about you?
I want them to say Troy Isley the full package. Troy
Hmm.
Isley the future of the middleweight division. And I want them to say I can't wait till Troy Isley fight again.
Hmm. I also have a question for you, man. You go by obviously Transformer, Mega Troy's your IG. How'd that
Yeah.
come to be?
How did Megatroy or the Transformer?
Both of those.
Okay, I mean the Transformer came about from K. Uh, when I was young, I was laid back. I'm still laid back, but laid back, and chill. And a
Hmm.
lot of people will overlook me. You know what I'm saying? And they'll come to me, oh, what you about to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't have that rah-rah energy. I have that like, all right, I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And before I would tell you about it. And honestly, people will overlook me and stuff like that. And then I will fight and you'll hear a lot of oohs and ahs. I'll probably be the most exciting fight of the night. And everybody be coming up to me after the fight, asking for pictures and stuff like that from when I was young. And then Kay was like, we're gonna call you the Transformer. But
Okay.
Megatroid came about, Megatron, and I was like Megatroid. That sound, yeah. I was like, for sure. I got tired of Box Boy. It just got plain to me because I had it since freshman year of high school. So I got tired of Box Boy. So I was like, I need a new name.
Okay.
And then I hit it with the Megatroid. But Instagram ain't even want to let me change it. Instagram was acting all funny. I had to make a post to change it. That's what
Oh,
I'm
really?
saying. The Megatroid era has begun.
Gotcha. So when you also talk about another guy, I was going to go back to the guys you could possibly find in the future. One of which is I feel like there's two top guys that are young prospects if you want to call them, including yourself with top rank. Jahaj Tucker's another guy that's up and coming. And I know you guys know each other also. Is that
Yeah.
a fight that we could ever possibly see? I know you obviously are a little bit older than him, and you've obviously been a little bit more accustomed to what you're going to have in the future. But do you see
Yeah.
that fight ever coming to fruition between you two?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it could. It could. We got the same management too though.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Would you ever want that fight, or is that something that you'd say would have to happen, multiple years down the road?
Multiple years down the road, he got a belt for some money, or he or me got a belt for
Hmm.
sure. It'll make sense. If it makes sense for sure.
Okay,
But I ain't just gonna
gotcha.
call him out.
For sure. I know there's been some Instagram story going back and forth between Lorenzo Simpson and Amari Jones, and then the two of you guys. Can you
They
break
ain't
down
want no
whatever's going on
smoke.
there?
Mari Jones and Truck was quiet, bro. They silent. Especially Truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mari cool. I respect Mari. But
Okay.
Truck's scared, man. He's scared. He all talk. Jahai gonna beat him though. He gonna get tired.
So you think Jahai's going to easily get that win then against Simpson?
I think so. Truck be getting tired.
Yeah. How do
But
you see that
but
fight going down
yeah,
then?
yeah. I think yeah, I think so. I think so. But I ain't gonna sleep on Truck because Truck let his hands go against certain people. It depends
That's
on who
true.
it is.
That's true.
And you know what I'm saying? He ain't letting him go against me.
Where did that even come from? Have you guys had history between each other? Because I saw all of a sudden on IG, you guys were just going back and forth. Did you guys have history, or where did that come from?
We fought 2 times as an amateur. It's not on BoxRec though.
Okay, gotcha. So that's where that all came from.
Two
Then
and no.
no, I don't think that'd be. I mean, Lorenzo's obviously got a while before he's up with where you're at right now in your career.
No,
But
for sure, for
do
sure,
you
for
see that
sure.
ever being a fight would even make sense? Obviously, he'd have to have a lot of big wins, including possibly beating Jahai if that even happens.
It ain't. It wouldn't make sense. That would be
Yeah,
me like down there because I beat the guy that beat him.
that's a good point. You did. Yep. So mostly then, obviously, like you said, if Jahai Tucker, Simpson, Lorenzo Simpson fight each other, I know it's kind of been speculation what's supposed to happen now. How do you see that fight panning out? Who do you think wins, and what round would that go down in?
You told Jahai and Simpson.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna go to distance.
Okay.
I mean, Jahai not really like a thumper, puncher of a puncher
Yeah.
yet. He may develop in that. He's still young,
Yeah.
but I mean, I feel like Jahai is gonna outwork him,
Okay.
and with his activities, gonna outwork him. Chuck gonna probably start off fast and then slow down as the fight go along.
Yeah. Well, Troy, I got one final question for you. I always like wrapping up each interview with this. Let's talk about your legacy. One day you're going to step away from boxing, and that career is going to be done with yourself. What do you want
Yeah.
people to remember Troy Isley for?
Troy Osley know how to win.
Mm.
The winner.
Well, Troy, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on in, man. I'm looking forward to see what God's got next for you, man. And best of luck in your upcoming fight on June 7th, man.
Appreciate it, bro. I
Of
love the
course.
show, bro. Good vibes
Appreciate
for
it.
sure.
Absolutely, man. Well, you're always welcome on, man. Whenever you want to come on, just let me know. I got you, man. God bless.
For sure. Appreciate you having me anytime.
Likewise, man. Talk to you later, man. God bless.
God bless.